Jacob's name is changed to Israel, and Israel becomes a nation. They're taken down to Egypt, the story of Joseph, how he delivers the known world from the starvation of the famine that is in that day. Later, this people is subjected to slavery, and they're enslaved by the Egyptians, who are masters and lords over them. The children of Israel had come into the land of Goshen, according to the Bible, and they had settled in the best of the land because of the faithfulness of Joseph. But the Bible records that there was a Pharaoh, a ruler, who arose, who did not know Joseph or the deeds of Joseph, and he saw the people, and was concerned that these people would have too much power. God miraculously saves one son. His name is Moses. No one else besides Jesus himself has had as much impact on civilization as Moses. Moses is an interesting character in the Bible. He is saved from the destruction of Pharaoh by his mother being wise and hiding him in the reeds. He is found by Pharaoh's daughter, and Pharaoh's daughter raises Moses in the ways of the kings and the princes of Egypt. Moses takes matters into his own hands as he witnesses an Egyptian striking an Israelite. And in this, Moses is distraught, and he goes and he kills the Egyptian to save the Israelite. Moses flees into the land of Midian. Exodus 2, verses 11. Now it happened in those days after Moses had grown up, that he went out to his brothers and saw their burdens. He noticed an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his own people. So he looked around, and when he saw that there was nobody, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Then he went out the following day and saw two Hebrew men fighting. So he said to the guilty one, "Why are you beating your companion?" But the man answered, "Who made you a ruler and judge over us? Are you saying you're going to kill me just as you killed the Egyptian?" Then Moses was afraid and thought for sure the deed had become known. And when Pharaoh heard about this, he tried to kill Moses. But Moses fled from Pharaoh and settled in the land of Midian. Where he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters who came and drew water. They filled the troughs with water, their father's flock. But shepherds came and drove them away, so Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. When they came to Reuel, their father, he said, "How come you've returned so soon?" So they told him, "An Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds. He drew water from us and watered the flock." "Where is he then?" he said to his daughters. "Why did you leave the man behind? Invite him to have some food to eat." Moses was content to stay on with the man. Later he gave Moses his daughter Zipporah. She gave birth to a son, and he named him Gershom, saying, "I have been an outsider in a foreign land." Behind me is the well of what the locals call Shuaib, which is Jethro, Sheikh of Midian, according to the Bible, and different accounts basically, write about what happened here. But we know that you have Moses, as he left Egypt, came to this region. Obviously, quite a journey away, but this is the ancient region of Midian. As we went through this region, we stopped at, in Al-Bad, there's ancient caves that date back to the Midianite period. And we explored these caves, and we've seen evidence for this truly being Midian. The region and the city was known as Madya, or Midian, in ancient times and in ancient maps, solidifying that Midian has always been on this eastern side of the Gulf of Aqaba. Midian never was in the Sinai Peninsula. Midian has always been over in this region. Any academic will tell you that Midian is in northwest Saudi Arabia on the eastern side of the Gulf of Aqaba. This is key in understanding the story of Moses and the mountain, because Midian is the central, most important evidence for Sinai being in Arabia and not in the Sinai Peninsula. Midian had never been on that side. There's no history, there's no local record
of it ever being on the western side of the Gulf of Aqaba in the Sinai Peninsula. We saw many evidence for Midianites living there. We also went to the town of Magna, and in Magna there's two important things. There's a local tradition that Moses lived there, and we saw a spring that is located in the outskirts of Magna that dates back to the time of Moses, and it's said that Moses himself lived there for a short time before he went back to deliver Israel. And it makes sense. It's not far from Al-Bad, and it's also a great place to escape the heat of the desert, as the Red Sea or the Gulf of Aqaba is close by. So in this story, God calls Moses after 40 years of living in this wilderness, living in this land with Jethro. He has a house, he has a family. God calls him out and sends him back to be the leader of Exodus.